Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Israel has handed over the bodies of 45 Palestinians to the Red Cross, a day after militants returned the remains of 3 Israeli soldiers killed in the Hamas-led attack on October 7, 2023, the assault that sparked the ongoing 2-year war. The exchange marks another step in the fragile U.S.-brokered ceasefire, with Israel returning 15 Palestinian bodies for each Israeli hostage or soldier's remains. Since the truce began on October 10th, militants have released 20 hostages' remains, while Israel has returned 270 Palestinians. The Red Cross says forensic work to identify the dead in Gaza has been hampered by a lack of DNA testing kits. Meanwhile, Israel's political landscape was shaken after the military's former legal chief was arrested in a separate scandal. As the ceasefire continues, global leaders are urging Israel to increase humanitarian aid to Gaza, where a vaccination campaign for thousands of children is set to begin next week. Iran appears to be rebuilding its ballistic missile program despite the United Nations reimposed sanctions banning arms sales and missile activity. European intelligence sources report that since late September, several shipments of a key ingredient that creates solid missile propellant arrived from China at Iran's port of Bandar Abbas. The chemical, while not explicitly banned, can be converted into a prohibited missile oxidizer, raising concerns that Tehran is working to replenish its missile stockpile depleted during its conflict with Israel in June. The shipments, some linked to sanctioned Chinese entities and ships with obscured tracking data, come amid China's public opposition to the sanctions, calling them a serious setback to diplomatic efforts on Iran's nuclear issue. Western analysts warn the deliveries signal a renewed effort by Iran to rearm as both Tehran and Israel rebuild their weapons reserves following months of tension and conflict. The nation's largest police fleet of Tesla Cybertrucks is set to hit the streets of Las Vegas next month after a $2.7 million donation from tech billionaire Ben Horowitz and his wife Felicia, a move sparking debate over private influence in public policing. Clark County Sheriff Kevin McMahill unveiled the 10 all-electric bulletproof Cybertrucks during a flashy press conference, calling them the future of policing. The high-tech vehicles, valued between $80,000 and $115,000 each, will be used for patrols and emergency response calls, with 400 officers trained to drive them. While McMahill touted the truck's safety and sustainability, critics from civil rights and community groups say the intimidating vehicles symbolize police militarization and raise privacy concerns about Tesla's access to police data. The donation follows multiple Tesla recalls and growing scrutiny over Elon Musk's company and comes as Las Vegas deepens its tech-driven policing efforts with help from private donors. The penny may soon be history, and some retailers are already feeling the impact. After the U.S. Treasury Department halted penny production in May, with the final coins minted in August, stores across the country are beginning to run short. Retailers like Kroger, Home Depot, and Quick Trip say the shortage has hit sooner than expected, with some locations rounding cash transactions to the nearest nickel to make up the difference. A Kroger spokesperson said customers paying with cash are being asked to provide exact change, while industry groups are now calling on Congress to pass a national law allowing businesses to round transactions to the nearest 5 cents. The move marks the first major fallout from the official end of penny production and could signal a new era in how Americans pay for everyday purchases. The Federal Reserve approved its second consecutive interest rate cut last week, lowering its benchmark rate to a range of 3.75% to 4%. But Chair Jerome Powell sent markets tumbling after suggesting another cut in December isn't guaranteed. The decision passed 10-2, with dissenters divided on whether the rate cut was too little or too much. The Fed's also announced it will end its bond reduction program, known as quantitative tightening, on December 1st. Powell emphasized that officials are split on whether to lower rates again, saying another cut is not a foregone conclusion. The central bank's decision comes as key economic data remains unavailable due to the ongoing government shutdown, leaving policymakers to navigate rising inflation, slowing job growth, and uncertainty about the broader economy. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Heading into the city? Don't even think about driving.
The T is by far the best value in the city.
Park with ease at one of the many MBTA lots or garages with rates that beat anything in the city.
You just have to tap your phone or contactless card and ride. No machines, no stress. It's modern, fast, it's easy.
And the best part, you get dropped off steps away from where you want to go.
Hop off at Park Street, explore the State House, Boston Common, and the Theater District.
And don't miss a concert at the Orpheum.
Ride smart, ride the T.
So many reasons to get on board.
Welcome back. A local mom is turning heartbreak into hope for military families. Maureen Byrne of Braintree founded Miles for Military after learning how costly it was for her son, Marine Corporal Ronan Byrne, to fly home from Camp Lejeune for Thanksgiving, nearly $900 for one ticket. When Ronan told her that most of his fellow Marines couldn't afford to go home, she decided to change that. The nonprofit now provides free round-trip flights for junior enlisted service members, those ranked E1 through E4, in exchange for completing at least 25 hours of volunteer work with any nonprofit. Byrne says the program not only reunites families but also supports mental health through community service. With donations and sponsors, Miles for Military plans to fly more than 1,000 service members home in 2025. A local pup is celebrating his birthday by giving back. TLC Hardscape and Masonry Superstore in Braintree is hosting Zuko's Birthday Bash, Paws for a Cause, a pet food and supply drive benefiting the Quincy Animal Shelter. The store's beloved mascot, Zuko, is turning 4, and his birthday wish is to help his furry friends in need. Donations of pet food, toys, cleaning supplies, towels, and gift cards are being collected now through November 30th at 4048 Arnold Street. All contributions will go directly to support the animals cared for by the Quincy Animal Shelter. The farmers market regular season at the town hall is officially over, but with the winter holiday season just around the corner, there's one more event for residents to look out for. The market is set to host its Thanksgiving Holiday Farmers Market on November 22nd at Braintree Town Hall this year. Market organizers promise a full harvest of local foods for your holiday table. Gift baskets and local crafts will be available, which residents can find inside the town hall with a full lineup of market farms and vendors. The Thanksgiving Holiday Farmers Market will run from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on November 22nd. The town of Braintree is teaming up with the March Crispin Center to support residents impacted by reductions in SNAP benefits. Throughout November, the town will collect specific food items each week to help local families in need, beginning the week of November 3rd with cereal donations. Collection tables will be set up by the front doors of Town Hall, giving residents the opportunity to drop off items at their convenience. All items will be distributed through the March Crispin Center, and town officials are encouraging residents to participate and lend a helping hand to their neighbors during the season of giving. The South Congregational Church in Braintree is kicking off the holiday season with its annual holiday fair, taking place at 1075 Washington Street on Friday, November 7th and Saturday, November 8th. The festivities begin Friday evening with an Italian supper from 5 to 7 p.m., followed by fair activities until 8 p.m. On Saturday, the fair runs from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with a snack and lunch counter open from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Visitors can look forward to front door raffles, themed gift baskets, cookies, pies, knit and crochet items, crafts, jewelry, plants, and a silent bid table, and hearty favorites like cornbread, chili, and baked beans. For more information, call 781-843-5155. The Braintree Senior Center is offering a full slate of weekly programs and special events for residents 60 years and older this November. Weekly offerings include daily fitness classes, men's coffee hour on Mondays, game day on Tuesdays, the Asian Outreach Group on Wednesdays, quilting and knitting on Thursdays, and movie day on Fridays. For one-day events, the center is holding bingo on November 5th at 1 p.m. and on November 7th, you can head to the Senior Center for mobile shredding, available all day, a therapy garden session on fall soups at 1 p.m., or for an IT class at 1:30 p.m. To sign up for these events, contact the Braintree Senior Center at 781-848-1963. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area. Welcome back. Now I'm joined by Thayer Public Library Assistant Director Lori Kavanaugh to give an update on November events at the library. I'll let you take it away.
Well, you may have noticed that it's taken longer than usual to see your favorite new releases appear on the Thayer Library shelves over the past few months, including our high-demand lease books. We do apologize for the inconvenience and the longer wait times. We recently received news that our major supplier of print books had abruptly gone out of business, providing no notice to libraries. This has affected print books throughout the library, including nonfiction, fiction, and young adult collections. It has especially affected our popular lease book collection, which is our way of having multiple copies of high-demand titles available for patrons without having to purchase multiple copies. We have changed all our ordering to our secondary supplier and are working as hard as we can to make those best-selling books available in print again. Our digital collections, Hoopla and Libby, have not been affected. Please come to Thayer Public Library on Saturday, November 8th to support area authors at our local author book fair, Saturday, November 8th, 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is the third annual local author book fair presented by the TPL Writers Group and Thayer Public Library. A variety of genres, including children's books, will be available. 10% of proceeds will be donated to the Friends of Thayer Public Library. Complimentary apple cider will be served. Braintree authors at the fair include Nick Bythrow, Kimberly Daly, Carla E. Dash, Bill Fleming, Katie Hallahan, Dan Manning, writing as C.L. Manning, and Paul Jovino. Shop for holiday gifts at the library and support our local authors. It's time to renew your annual membership in the Friends of Thayer Public Library or to join the Friends for the first time. The Friends of Thayer Public Library is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization whose mission is to support the library through cultural and educational activities. The Friends help fund library programs and services, as well as improvements to the library facility and grounds. All dues, gifts, and memorial gifts to the Friends go directly to support the library. Please visit the Friends page of the website for more information about the Friends, or pick up a membership form at the library and drop it off at the circulation desk. Our November holiday hours we will be closed on Tuesday, November 11th in honor of Veterans Day. The library will close at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, November 26th, and be closed Thursday, November 27th through Sunday, November 30th for Thanksgiving. Our regular library hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our website, www.thayerpubliclibrary.org, is always open. Download books, audiobooks, magazines, and videos 24/7. Visit our digital media page to get started.
Thanks for sharing everything that's going on at the library. Again, that was Lori Kavanaugh, Assistant Director at Thayer Public Library. Now back to Braintree Today. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. Authorities are investigating what they believe was an intentional explosion early Saturday inside Harvard University's Goldenson building. Police say an officer responding to a fire alarm around 3 a.m. saw two masked individuals fleeing the scene, both later captured on surveillance footage. The explosion, which occurred on the building's 4th floor, was determined by arson investigators to be deliberate. No injuries were reported, and Boston police confirmed no additional devices were found. The FBI is assisting in the investigation, and officials are asking for help identifying the two suspects seen wearing hoodies and masks. The incident comes amid a tense period for Harvard as the university faces legal and financial negotiations with the White House. Hundreds of runners braved the wind in Randolph on Saturday for the annual Pack the Pantry 5K, an event that brought nearly 300 people together to support the Randolph-friendly food pantry. Organizers say donations this year are more crucial than ever as cuts to SNAP leave more families struggling to put food on the table. Pantry Director Amanda Reed said that the end of SNAP benefits will impact more than 1 million Massachusetts residents, calling it devastating. A federal judge has given the Trump administration until Monday to clarify whether full or partial SNAP payments will be made for November. In response to the suspension of SNAP benefits, Governor Maura Healey has doubled state funding for food banks from $4 million to $8 million through the Massachusetts Emergency Food Assistance Program. Some South Shore area pantries are stepping up to fill the gap, including the Braintree Community Food Pantry, Interfaith Social Services in Quincy, Quincy Community Action Programs, the Randolph Friendly Food Pantry, and the Weymouth Food Pantry. Each is calling for donations of money, non-perishable food, and household items to help families make ends meet as the shutdown drags on. Quincy police are investigating 2 jewelry thefts that happened within 24 hours in the city's North Quincy neighborhood. Investigators say in both incidents, the victims were approached by suspects who briefly engaged them in conversation before forcefully robbing them of their jewelry. The thieves then fled the scene in what police described as a dark-colored SUV or sedan. It's not clear if anyone was hurt, and police have not released a suspect description. Authorities are urging residents to stay alert, avoiding engaging with strangers, and keep valuables secure while out walking. Anyone with information is asked to contact Quincy Police. The MBTA is continuing major infrastructure upgrades on the Red Line next month as part of its ongoing track improvement program. From November 15th through the 23rd, service on the Red Line's Braintree branch will be suspended between North Quincy and Braintree to allow for critical track renewal and maintenance work. During that time, free and accessible shuttle buses will replace train service, and riders should plan for at least 35 minutes of extra travel time. The MBTA is also encouraging commuters to use the Middleborough, Kingston, and Greenbush commuter rail lines, which will offer fare-free service between Braintree, Quincy Center, JFK UMass, and South Station. Extra coaches will be added to accommodate more passengers, and regular fares will still apply for travel beyond Braintree. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now, Halloween may be over, but for those still in the spooky spirit, here's some movies to watch. First, Trick or Treat. The cult favorite horror anthology Trick or Treat delivers a chilling reminder that Halloween traditions should never be broken. Set in a small town haunted by real ghosts, goblins, and ghouls, the film weaves together 4 eerie tales starring Anna Paquin, Brian Cox, and Dylan Baker. Each story unravels the dark consequences of ignoring spooky customs, from blowing out a jack-o'-lantern too soon to crossing paths with a vengeful trick-or-treater. With its mix of twisted humor and bone-chilling scares, Trick or Treat has become a Halloween classic that celebrates and punishes the spirit of the season. You can watch Trick or Treat on Amazon Prime Video. Up next, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark brings childhood nightmares to life, drawing from the iconic trilogy of haunting tales that terrified generations. Produced by Oscar winner Guillermo del Toro, the movie follows a group of teens in 1968 who discover a mysterious book that writes their darkest fears into reality. With its eerie visuals, practical creature effects, and nostalgic small-town setting, the movie adaptation blends old-school scares with modern filmmaking magic. You can watch Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark now on Amazon Prime Video. And finally, Hell House LLC. The found footage horror film Hell House LLC takes viewers back to the eerie town of Abaddon, where nightmares and reality blur. The film follows Vanessa Shepard, a woman haunted by visions and drawn to the town's dark history, including the infamous Abaddon Hotel and Carmichael Manor. As mysterious deaths begin to mount, Vanessa uncovers her terrifying link to decades of unsolved murders. You can watch Hell House LLC on Amazon Prime Video. That'll do it for news today. Don't forget Verizon customers can now watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128 and on Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.